Hello and welcome to the Baldwin Public Library Board meeting on Monday, May 20th at 7:30 p.m. in the Boss Boardroom. The full board packet is available online at www.baldwinlives.org and the Friday preceding the meeting. This is an open meeting and all members of the public are invited to attend. Robert, could you please call the roll for tonight's meeting?
Karen Rock,
Here.
Danielle Rumpel,
Here.
Melissa Mark,
Here.
Wendy Friedman,
Here.
Frank Paisano, here, Jenny Wheeler.
Here.
Also with us is student representative Kate Walter.
Thanks, Robert. Now can we please stand for this pledge?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Lizzie, could you please read the library?
I'm ready. Okay.
Okay, go on.
The Baldwin Public Library in Birmingham, Michigan enriches lives by providing opportunities and resources for everyone to learn, connect, and discover.
Thanks, Lynn.
You're welcome.
Our first order of business is the general public comment period. The library board values public meetings and welcomes your comments on library issues, but will not debate items not on the agenda. The board respectfully asks that comments be made as concisely as possible when a motion has been made or in the general public comment portion of the meeting. The maximum time for individual speakers should not exceed 3 minutes. Does any member of the public have any comments?
You know, some handouts, but they come later, right?
Well, this is the general, I mean, we can't discuss anything.
No. I just got.
I guess you could hand it out now. Go on.
Good evening. Oakland Bird Alliance, or like Oakland Audubon, choose their name. Emailed an article recently that there's been a renewal and enhancement of federal legislation that will help migratory birds in the Americas. And I'd like to share it with you. It's gratifying to know that there's continued interest on the federal level to support and partner with programs throughout North and South America. As so many migratory birds travel thousands of miles in one continent. So this was good news. And she was sort of passing the around if you like.
Thank you. Thank you, Anne.
Thank you.
Are there any other public comments? Our next order of business is the consent agenda. All items on the consent agenda are considered routine and will be enacted by one motion and approved by a roll call vote. There will be no discussion of these items unless a board member or citizen so requests, in which case the item will be removed from the general order of business and considered as the last item under new business. So first is the approval of April 15th, 2024 board meeting minutes, which are on page 7. And the second is the approval of April 2024 vendor payments in the amount of $451,953.35, including payments in excess of $75,000. This is on page 11. And the third is the approval of total expenses in the amount of $697,747.46, which is on page 15. Is there any member of the board who would like to remove an item from the consent agenda? And any member of the public who would like to remove an item from the consent agenda? Would anyone like to move to approve the consent agenda?
I move to approve the consent agenda.
Second.
Robert, will you please conduct a roll call vote?
Rock,
Yes.
Rumpel,
Yes.
Mark,
Yes.
Friedman,
Yes.
Paisano. Yes. Wheeler,
Yes.
all yeas.
And next are board reports and special announcements. First is the president's report, and I just have one item, and that's a letter that I received on Friday from Baldwin, the public library patron Diane Anderson. I was just gonna read the letter. This is dated May 15th. It was written to me. It says, "Dear Ms. Rock, my name is Diane Anderson. I am a Birmingham resident who makes frequent use of the wonderful Baldwin Public Library. Last Thursday, May 9th, I left the library walking along Martin Street toward the Chester Street parking garage. As I approached the corner opposite Baldwin House, I tripped on an irregular slab of city sidewalk. I sustained serious injuries, including bruising on my face, limbs, and body, cracked ribs on the left and right side of my body, and injuries to my mouth, lips, and jaw, including smashed front teeth. There was blood all over my face, arms, legs, etc. I returned to the library and went downstairs to clean the blood off and to put wet towels over my mouth to try to contain it. I wanted the accident reported and so proceeded up the elevator to the office of the library director, Rebecca Kraft. The accident did not occur on library property, so Rebecca had no responsibility for dealing with my injury. She nevertheless took full charge of the situation. She was kind and comforting, trying to help calm me. She called the Birmingham police and the EMTs. She had ice packs brought to help with the pain. After the above mentioned individuals took my details, Rebecca took time from her busy schedule to personally accompany me to the office of the Birmingham city manager. She did not leave until she was sure that I would be properly attended to by the relevant city personnel. I want to take this opportunity to share with you and the other members of the library board my profound gratitude to Rebecca for both the leadership and the kindness she demonstrated in my hour of need. She is not only a fine librarian, but a caring human being. Yours truly, Diane Anderson. So, very nice letter.
Very nice.
Congratulations.
Great job.
Yeah. How's she doing?
She's back up and at 'em. So.
That's great. That's
Good
really
spirit. Good, scary situation.
Here's craft. Library director nurse.
You don't want me to be a nerd? Yeah, but thank you to Jacqueline and Robert who helped get the ice pack and call everyone. And yeah.
Does anybody else have any comments to share? The other board members? And it's not staff anniversaries. Danielle, could you read the staff anniversaries on page 30?
Sure. We would like to congratulate all of our staff who are celebrating special anniversaries this month. Melissa Barron, substitute librarian, celebrated 5 years of service on May 5th. Nadia Bertala, Page, celebrated 7 years of service on May 3rd. Sam Hollow, Page, celebrated 1 year of service on May 15th. H. Jennings, head of adult services, celebrated 7 years of service on May 14th. Jody Jennings, circulation clerk, celebrated 5 years of service on May 6th. Emily Malik, substitute librarian, will celebrate 3 years of service on May 24th. Grace Noble, access services library assistant, will celebrate 3 years of service on May 31st. And Robbie Sherman, adult services substitute librarian, will celebrate 6 years of service on May 20th. Thank you. Thank you all the staff.
Now board committee, upcoming events. Jacqueline almost missed it.
You know, I love All right, so on page 66 of your packet, you'll see a list of just some of the exciting things that are coming in the next 4 to 5 weeks. Later this week, Bart's going to be teaching a class on Value Line and the Investment Center, which used to be Morningstar. They've renamed it. So if you've ever been curious about using those resources, this is a great opportunity to learn that. Also on Wednesday, the Idea Lab is going to be creating DIY welcome mats with the participants of that program. He made a sample last week. It's really cute. So I'm excited to see what they make this week. On Thursday, 2 librarians are going head to head in a story time battle, and this time they're going ducks versus chickens, and the participants at the program will get to decide which bird is better. So we'll see how they vote after the program is over.
On Thursday, May 30th, Elizabeth is conducting a program on sushi rolling for teens, and we have a chef from Benihana coming to teach them how to do that. The Baldwin boosters are back this summer. These are our youth room volunteers for students ages 11 to 14. They'll be finding out how they can earn their community service hours this summer by joining the Summer Reading Youth Volunteers. On Wednesday, June 5th, we're doing our first of the Dungeons and Dragons series for the summer for the teen participants. So that's, I think there are 6 dates occurring over the summer for that series. Jeff will be conducting the grand tour of the Idea Lab on June 5th at 7 p.m. On Friday, June 7th, we are kicking off Summer Reading 2024. The theme this year is Adventure Awaits at Your Library. So we have a lot of good stuff planned around the adventure theme. This one, though, will be from 3 to 5 on that Friday afternoon. The most exciting part, if you ask the kids we've talked to already at the schools, is the fact that the ice cream truck will be back. So we're excited about that. We're doing family story time on June 10th. This one will feature Maple from the Birmingham PD. And the theme is going to be dogs. On Monday, June 10th, we're also going to be conducting a virtual visit with Curtis Chin, the author of Everything I Learned in a Chinese Restaurant. And that will be online 7 p.m. Register if you would like the link for that one. This is maybe, I don't like to pick favorite things, but the write-up for this program was just like chef's kiss perfect, right? The Cruel Summer, a Swiftie celebration, is happening on June 13th. We know it's been a mega year for Taylor Swift, and so the teen services team is leaning into that, and they're throwing an entire Swiftie party. And then we're also going to be continuing the genealogy series with family history through interviews on the 13th. On the 20th, we'll be challenging students in grades 3 to 6 to create their own marble run. And on Saturday, June 22nd, we can learn more about plants used by the Anishinaabe of the Great Lakes. There will be an herbalist here to share knowledge and offer some teas to sample. That one is a hybrid event, so people can hop online or join us in person. And it's gonna be a good summer. We have lots of fun stuff on that calendar. So
Really good.
check out baldwinlive.org/calendar for all the fun.
Okay, next up are board committee reports, the finance committee, Danielle, would you?
Sure. Baldwin Public Library Board Finance Committee met on Tuesday, May 7th at 2:30 in the Deluxe Boardroom. Present were Frank Paisano, myself, Rebecca Kraft, and Jacqueline Miller. We have no public comments. We reviewed the potential withdrawal from the trust and will recommend the disbursement of $58,897.97 to be approved by the full trust board. The Van Drought Trust has been fully utilized. $20,000 was transferred from the trust mutual funds account to pay for building expenses related to phase 3. Reviewed the 23-24 budget report after 10 months. It's tracking mostly as expected. A budget amendment will be placed on the June board agenda to allow for additions to the budget for the phase 3 project and sorter rebuild. Jacqueline shared the April trust expenditures with Friends of the Library funds. And the Friends held their spring book sale May 3rd through the 5th. Frank did not attend any meetings, and our next meeting will be held on Monday, June 10th at 4 o'clock in the boardroom.
I just want to check, 58,000 sounds like very, very close to normal. Don't we usually do like 60?
Yeah, last year was 59,000.
Yeah, so that's pretty much it.
Mhm.
And I hate to ask this question because I should know it, but what's this sorter rebuild?
That is the book sorter, the automated
Yeah.
handling system.
Yeah,
So when
I
we transferred it, we had to move it to the basement to store it, and so we had to cut the electrical wires on it. So they had to come back out to redo the electrical wiring on it. So that was an extra fee. It was like, I think it was,
8,000.
yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay, I didn't know it was something, I was like, oops, okay. Thank you.
Next, building committee.
Yes, the building committee met today at 1 o'clock in the Deloitte boardroom. Rebecca Kraft, Jacqueline Miller, and Missy Mark and myself were all present. Rebecca has started off with a phase 3 update. The budget is tracking very well, working very well. They did go through a walkthrough this morning at 11 o'clock with the architect and an associate to clean up little odds and ends. from the construction, so we can open up the new space here hopefully soon. The stair tile installation is nearly complete. It looks very good. Sorter installation is complete. The renovation plaque will be installed in the next few weeks. Furniture, exterior tables and umbrellas are in place, and the interior tables are being assembled right now, and chairs will be moving into the space as we get closer to opening up the new space. Reopening date, we're looking at mid-June, which we're really excited about. So I know the public's been, every time you go by the library, people are sitting out on the new courtyard and peering into the windows. So it's gonna be very exciting when we're able to open up the doors on Merrill.
Yeah.
It's been long overdue. The staff lounge was repainted at the beginning of May, and the staff chose what color they wanted. I think they went with like a light blue.
Very similar to Kate's.
Kate's sweater. And they were very innovative on how to pay for it, and they used credit card reward points to buy all the paint and refresh up the cafe. So they did not have to use taxpayer money for that, and I think they're enjoying the space. We will have a September 15th open house planned. I know that all the invitations are ready and gift bags or food is being kind of ordered in preparation for that.
Ordered, but we've got a plan.
They have a plan, so looking forward to that. Robert is purchasing perennials and shrubs to spruce up the entrance using grant money from the Bloomfield Hills Garden Club, so we always appreciate that. Staff will work with LDA to redesign shelving layout for the teen scene space. The teen scene space was eliminated with the new sorter area. So they're gonna be putting the teen space over by the older 3 study rooms. They're gonna be moving some shelves and coming up with an idea, so they have a space over there to do their activities. So we're excited about that. And Kate's gonna help do it, so we're excited about that. Thank you so much for participating.
Yeah.
We love your input, and, you know, we definitely hope the teens have a great space to go and enjoy themselves and at the library.
Can I just ask, are we near, exam time? Are we gonna have that?
AP for for every school, AP exams just finished up.
Uh-huh.
And then I think for the local schools, finals are in the next, for my school, they start next week. I think for the public schools, they start 2 weeks from now. So
Okay,
we are.
okay. Yeah. Okay.
Bird glass film. The test panel will be installed after the window washing in June, so that's gonna happen. And then we are meeting Monday, June 17th at 1 o'clock in the Deloitte boardroom for anybody that would like to attend the next building committee meeting. Any questions?
I just wanted to say during the Birmingham Art Fair, it was so nice to see the seating all being used. I mean, that's where my mom said, oh, let's meet there. And
Oh,
so it was nice to see like every table was being used during the art fair.
oh, that's fantastic.
And the red looks so good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I always smile when I drive by and people are utilizing that space, something that we envisioned. And what's even more exciting is when the new space is gonna be open and the door is gonna be open.
Yeah.
They'll have it inside, outside together, and I think it's gonna be great.
And the other great thing is that material that the chairs and the tables are made out of, even if the sun's pouring down on them, they're not hot.
That's good.
That's great. Yeah.
That's great. Super exciting time.
Yeah.
And I just want to thank the staff for all their hard work, and Rebecca and Jacqueline, and the team, for all that they're going through and, dealing with building. I'm sure after this phase, they're ready to take a deep breath and focus on library stuff after 9 years of construction. So, we're excited for that. So, thanks for all your hard work.
We know, the painting when does that get installed? Yeah.
Euro.
When the artist is finished.
Oh, okay,
Yes.
okay.
So she knows, I nudged her last week and said, we're looking at early June. So if we could have it installed by the end of May, that would be great.
And she's installing it.
Yes.
Are you gonna show the stars later or?
Oh, yeah, I can show that now. So we worked with an artist to make a silk scarf out of, the artwork on the panel.
So cool.
So, the artist painted a version of the mural on silk, and then and scanned it, and then, uploaded it to a digital printing site. So this is, what the scarf looks like. So we'll be selling this at the open house, or maybe we'll have some advanced pre-sale too, you know, VIPs in this room. Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's exciting.
Thank you for sharing.
And we're still waiting on a name for the mural so that we can
Okay.
order a plaque for it. So,
Awesome.
Wendy's working on coming up with a name for it.
Okay.
How much is the scarf?
We are thinking, $60.
That's good.
Next up is policy committee. Jenny?
If we can turn to page 17 for the policy committee update. Upon review of our volunteer policy by teen librarian Elizabeth Fu, she noticed that the grade level listed for teen volunteers does not currently match our existing practices. Elizabeth has requested that the policy be changed to state that the volunteers must be in grades 7 through 12. The following page includes one red line update to the policy for the board to review and approve at tonight's meeting. So if you turn the page, it just shows in red, the tiny little change, so students in grade 7 to 12 instead of 9 to 12. That's the only change to that. So, does anybody have any questions on that change? Okay. I'd like to make a motion to adopt the proposed grade change for the teen volunteers policy and for teen volunteers in the volunteer policy. Second. Do we have any board comments? Any comments from the public?
I'm sorry, would you repeat that? That's 17.
Oh.
From 9th grade to 7th grade.
Yes. Yeah,
So what would that be at 13?
12 to 13, up to being a senior in high school.
And they could be volunteers here at the library.
Robert, can we take a vote?
Sure. Rock,
Yes.
Rubble,
Yes.
Mark,
Yes.
Friedman,
Yes.
Faisano.
Yes.
Wheeler,
Yes.
all yeas.
And the next meeting of the policy committee will take place on May 31st, 2024 at 9:30 a.m. in the Delos boardroom. The committee will review the following policies at that time: library card policy, fines and fees policy, electronic device network and internet use policy, collection development and maintenance policy, fund balance policy, credit card policy, finance policy, trust investment policy, and staff development policy. The committee will also be reviewing a new communications policy.
Whoa.
11 policies.
Wow.
That says, the Rebecca, Jacqueline, and the staff at Baldwin all kind of do the pre-work, and then we just kind of fine tune it. And we did review all of these policies in depth last year, so for the most part, except for communications, it should just be a light refresh. Thank you.
Next up is the library report. Rebecca and Jacqueline.
Okay, I get to start tonight. So looking at pages 22, 23, you can see the statistical dashboard on the left. I don't think there's anything too shocking on there, but I'd be happy to answer questions if you have them. Otherwise, moving over to page 23, we had a really fun month of some programs and services to highlight. Stephanie's favorite program, and she told me I'm allowed to say that out loud. Is the Burberry program, and we held that here on Friday, May 10th. We had 15 middle school students here with their school librarians to discuss this year's nominees. They voted to choose Iceberg by Jennifer Nielsen as their winner, and it won by like 20 points. So they had it was a landslide victory. On Saturday, May 4th, we had a huge day here at Baldwin. And one of the events that were going on was Free Comic Book Day. We're a participant of that. We offered a selection of complimentary comics for all ages, along with some superhero themed stickers and cookie cutters that the idea for us on the 3D printers. Over the course of the day, 228 comics were taken home by BPL visitors, and all those cookie cutters were gone. So, yeah. We have been conducting historical tours of the library with BPS second graders. We kicked that off on May 7th. If you've been here on a day when the tour has been walking through, It's been really fun to hear the kids asking questions and exclaiming about things that they've been studying when they get here. And one day I walked in and I asked them, what do you know? And they basically gave me all the bullet points on my presentation, so. So we have a good time walking through the building and talking about the exciting history of BPL. And we will be conducting those through May 23rd. If I did my math right, we'll give tours to 27 classrooms in those weeks, so, and it's been really fun. And a really interesting development for the Seed Library, the Adult Services Reference Assistant, Phoenix Nash, decided she wanted to offer something new for the spring and created potato starter kits. You can see a picture of one sitting on top of the Seed Library there. They were packaged up in paper bags, ready to go. Were received really enthusiastically. We took 35 kits home in about a week. So I'm excited to hear people are growing their potatoes. I hope they work.
There was a run on potato kits after the Facebook post.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, do
Really?
you have any more of those kits?
So, and apparently you don't need a lot of room. You can grow them in a laundry basket. I don't know. There was
And
instructions.
dark,
It was a whole
right?
thing, so.
Oh, that's good
Yeah.
for shade, that would.
So, good for Phoenix for offering something new and exciting that generated some interest for the Seed Library. On page 25, we have the results of the Teeny Tiny Art Show. You can see the 8 submissions that were brought back to us after we handed out the kits in March. And after 3 weeks of voting, the top 3 are along the bottom. So congratulations to Iris, Juliana, and Genevieve on their painting. And you can see a picture of the staff lounge refresh we were talking about earlier, on the next page. And, staff, I think, have really had a lot of fun with this, project. And I love the new fresh look of the space, so, congratulations to them. And under the diversity and equity heading, the IDEA Task Force continues to meet monthly to accomplish the goals set forth by the library board. They'll be hosting a workshop on the Safe Zone project on June 5th. And our next Woke Book Club will be held on June 26th. We will meet to discuss Last Minute Telegraph Club. And the youth department will resume their project ready curriculum in August after summer reading is over.
Yep, and then moving on to community outreach and partnerships. I attended the senior center open house at the YMCA on April 29th. And then on Saturday, May 11th, last week, Jacqueline hosted a table at the DPS open house, and from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. they estimated over 1,000 people visiting the event. They ran out of hot dogs, chips, and ice cream very quickly, so it was a good time. Yes, they had to ask people to leave after the event ended.
2:15, people were still in the sand pit having a good time.
Yep. This Monday, we will have staff marching in the Beverly Hills Memorial Day Parade, and we will also be bringing the book bike there. It's expected to be repaired by the end of this week. On Wednesday, May 1st, Jacqueline joined several other librarians from Bloomfield Township and West Bloomfield to do speed dating with books at the Village Club. You can see her handout for that, all the books that everyone suggested. I always love reading these.
Yeah.
On page 76 and 77. So basically they bring a stack of 5 books with them. Participants sit at tables and then everyone goes to each table to talk about the books in 1 minute. It's fast paced. There's always a great variety on there. And then, let's see, I hosted a special book club at Next at the beginning of the month to discuss The Firekeeper's Daughter by Angeline Boulay. And this was chosen as a great Michigan read and was part of Next 4-month focus on Native Americans. So that was a great discussion there. The librarians have been going to every elementary school every elementary, middle, and high school to do summer reading school visits. And that started on May 3rd and it will end at the last day of school practically. So they're giving talks about all the summer reading programs, how to enter, and we always get lots of great participation from everyone there. And so big shout out to Elizabeth Pooh for attending every single middle and high school visit, which is a lot for one person. And Rosemary Isbell, you can see a picture of her on page 29. She hosted a table at the YMCA Healthy Kids at the Y event on April 17th. So people walk through the displays, they got to spin our prize wheel and let kids choose from 3D prints from the Idea Lab, stickers, books, and bookmarks. And then going on to page 30, H. Jennings attended the first session of the MLA Leadership Academy, and that was held in Grand Rapids, I believe, no, Lansing, I'm sorry. And the first session, they worked on the DISC method of communication, and she wants to come back and use that in her department and across the organization. And she'll be continuing that for another 6 months. So they have various online and in-person sessions. And then this Wednesday through Friday, I will be on Mackinac Island attending the last session of the Think Space Conference for library directors. So I'll leave after my tour on Wednesday morning and then be back on Friday night.
Well, that's fun.
Yeah. We have a staff meeting on April, our last one was held on April 23rd, and our next one will be held on May 29th. So those have been like short and sweet informational meetings for people. That was a COVID thing that we implemented, and it's been going well. And then we share the recordings with staff afterwards. And then I presented my budget hearing to the commission on April 27th. And the two things that commissioners were most interested in hearing about were how penal fines are used and how they benefit the library. And then also about the rising cost of e-materials and why our budget for that goes up every year. So.
It will continue though, too. I mean,
And it will,
Yeah.
yes. Mhm. Any questions for us?
And next up are the report from Friends of Baldwin Public Library, by Cindy.
Good evening. Thank you to those of you who were able to join us for our annual meeting. We really appreciate your support. We had a really good turnout, which means we had more than 15, which is what we need for a quorum. Actually, I think we had 25-ish. We had a really good turnout this year. We have several people who have raised their hands and said they are interested in potentially coming on board. So hopefully at least 2 or 3 of those folks will work out. Just never know, but hopefully, I'm hopeful. We haven't had this much interest in a while from just random folks being willing to come on our board. So, and also to volunteer with us. And we do have more volunteers helping now. We made, at our spring book sale, we made $1,758, which is, $1,758 we didn't have, but it is down quite a bit. And we thought the attendance by shoppers was down too. Not sure why exactly, but we're gonna be looking at maybe doing something different in the fall for our fall book sale. Our next 4th Saturday sale is June 22nd from 10 to here in downstairs at the library. And we are getting good response from shoppers for that. So hopefully we can make another $1,000 or so.
Thank you. And Beverly Hills. Here. Questions? Any?
No.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming.
Yeah.
Right.
And Woodfield Hills, Susan McCarthy, no. And Bay Farms, Kathy, Michigan.
She has a meeting tonight, so she said she couldn't attend.
Okay. And next is phase 3 renovation update by Rebecca.
Yes, I didn't load the pictures, so maybe can you talk while I
Sure.
pull this up?
So on page 33, 34, you can see the beginning of the update. Frank mentioned that the furniture on the plaza has been installed and it's being used. You can see a photo here of our staff using it for a little outdoor meeting, which is great, but we are not the only ones. There have been plenty of people out there on the plaza, enjoying the shade, but also enjoying the sun. We know that people are moving those tables around because they are in a different configuration almost every morning. But I think people are finding the place that they're comfortable, which is great.
Real quick, is it Wi-Fi? Can you get
We
Wi-Fi
get
out there?
Wi-Fi.
Perfect.
Yep.
Okay, great.
So,
Can I just ask, can patrons open the umbrellas or does staff have to do that?
they can, but we are trying to make sure we do that first thing in the morning so that they get opened properly.
Yeah,
There is a lock, it's a pretty easy to use once we figured out locking system, but when we were not making that part of our first part of the day, we were finding that the cord was just wound around stuff and then that wasn't really holding it up. So we now have a plan in place for both open and closed, so, those get loaded or opened up in the morning. And are you ready?
Yes,
Okay.
I'm ready. So this is the Stephanie and Elisa having a meeting outside. I've also heard from other city departments that they are enjoying having meetings on our terrace, so it's great. We do have a leak at the corner. You'll probably see standing water. The sprinkler system inside the retaining wall was not capped properly, so they're gonna work on that. They've got Great Oaks Landscaping and the sprinkler company coming out to fix that this week. And this is our materials handling system. It's working now. If you have items you want to return, you can go outside to the front of the library. So there's a giant conveyor belt that raises it up like 45 degrees. Then it goes to a second belt and it goes around the corner, which is very exciting. And then it gets sorted into bins on either side here. So it's all up, it's functional. The mechanical parts are functional. Now we're working on getting the computer parts to be a little tweaked. So it's working, but it's still in that finicky, we want to push it out the window stage. So it's getting better by the day. So we're working on that. Lots of progress on the renovation right now. They are going to be replacing 2 or 3 shades that were, the fabric was cut on a bias and they're a little crooked or they're too short. They're fixing the floor grills to add a flange around those. The nano trim, the locking trim is gonna be installed on Wednesday. They're gonna do some plaster patching and cleaning up the ramp. They have to add some sprinkler heads. They have to repair some concrete. And then they're gonna start removing the temporary wall next week and then painting, patching and cleanup. So our contingency is at $41,682 left remaining. PCI Daily is going to give us a $5,000 credit for permit fees that the city waived. And then we have about $45,000 remaining in our FFE budget. So all good news for that. These are the stairs in progress. So it's just regular plain concrete on there. And then the window, it's been exciting to tell the kids in the historical tours that these are giant windows that we can open with a button. They get really excited about that. And then the outdoor terrace, Marshall Frederick's family, Barbara Hiller sent them a picture of the sculpture and they were all very happy with the position of it. And then the trees are in bloom here, doing mostly well. And then the drains are installed. These are the darker metal parts on here. And the information desk, we 3D printed the information words at the top of the desk in there. So thanks to the Idea Lab for that. And a view from the top of the ramp. These are the tables Jacqueline and Kristen and I assembled down there. And then this is the tile in progress. So they have to replace the tile in 2 steps. They measured them today. So they'll be able to do that by the end of this week. It's very easy to do. And top of the stairs look great. The tile looks really nice. I think it's a big improvement on the cast in place concrete.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
and then you can see the treads here. And then we have our rotary donor room back. So we're able to use that full room now, which is exciting. There's a little bump out in the corner for the elevator in there. But it's
So
been
you
working.
took out all that junk that was in there?
It was not
That
done.
junk.
They they patched the floor using existing pieces of carpet.
Yeah.
And now, yes, we took out the stacks of chairs in there and now we can store them in there again.
So will our next meeting be in that room?
Our next meeting will be in there. They had to redo some of the AV stuff. So that's why we didn't meet in there tonight, but next June 24th will be.
And that little bump out, that looks fine.
Mhm. Yeah,
Were they able
Excellent.
to, I didn't mean to.
No, go ahead.
Were they able to reutilize the handing rails on the stairs or?
They did.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
good
they
news.
look
There's a-
really nice.
Let me just, I'll point this out since you asked about it. At the bottom of the stairs, they reused the center, these two railings that go into the floor. They reused them instead of making new ones, so and something that annoyed everyone, they drilled a second hole in the floor to fit those handles. So they have to repatch it with the same color concrete that matches the floors and repolish it. So they're working on fixing that. So that's the only downfall of that,
Okay.
but
It was probably cheaper to do that than.
Yeah.
it was cheaper for the handrail installer to do that.
Yeah, oh,
For everyone else.
yeah,
oh,
no,
yeah.
not.
Yeah,
But these stairs, I think, look much improved.
yeah.
I agree.
And they're covered with dust and stuff
Yeah.
too, right now, so.
And the art fair people were complimenting the Siberian ram and how it was featured and said they've never noticed it before.
Right.
So
Is it the weeping,
that's nice.
the weeping trees?
Yeah, that's hard.
Okay, new and miscellaneous business. Okay, and unfinished business. I think we have any, and there were no items removed from the consent agenda. So the next regular meeting of the library board will take place on Monday, June 24th at 7:30 p.m. Motion.
A motion to adjourn. A second.
Now, the meeting's adjourned and we'll move on to the trust part of the meeting.
Right, Wendy.
Good night.
Good night.
We need a vote. Yeah, we need a vote, yeah, we need a vote for the close the meeting.
Our policy didn't reflect it, so we just had an updated policy.
Karen, we just need a vote to end the meeting.
Yeah, sorry. Okay, we have a vote. Meeting, Robert.
Rock,
Yes.
Rumpel,
Yes.
Mark,
Yes.
Friedman,
Yes.
Paisano.
Yes.
Wheeler.
Yes.
All yeas to adjourn.
Yes, I have to do my notes. This begins the beginning of the Baldwin Public Library Trust meeting in the Ross boardroom on Monday, May 20th, right after the board meeting. So we have a call to order.
Karen Rock,
Yes.
Danielle Rumpel,
Yes.
Melissa Mark,
Yes.
Wendy Friedman.
Yes.
Frank Paisano.
Yes.
Jenny Wheeler.
Yes.
All present.
General public comment period. The library board values public meetings and welcomes your comments on library issues. The board respectfully asks that comments be made as concisely as possible. We welcome your comments, but will not debate items not on the agenda. The maximum time for individual speakers should not exceed 3 minutes. If there's anybody to make public comments. Consent agenda, all items on the consent agenda are considered routine and will be enacted by one motion and approved by a roll call vote. There will be no discussion of these items unless a board member or a citizen so requests, in which case the item will be removed from the general order of business and considered as the last item under new business. First was the approval of the April 15, 2024 minutes, was around page 94. Second was the acceptance of the April 2024 receipts of $1,090.34 on page 104. And third is the approval of the April 2024 disbursements of $21,286.66 on page 105.
I moved to approve the consent agenda.
Okay,
I'll second.
thank you. Robert, could you conduct a roll call vote?
Rock,
Yes.
Rumpel,
Yes.
Mark,
Yes.
Friedman,
Yes.
Paisano.
Yes.
Wheeler.
Yes.
All yeas.
Thank you. Now new and miscellaneous business. The first item is a transfer of money from endowment funds for current expenditures table on page 97 explains the proposed transfer of funds. Any board comments or discussion?
I just have one confirmation, of page 96, the Van Dracht Fund. This is from April, but we're now down to 0, is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay.
I believe the outdoor patio furniture took us down to 0.
Okay.
She's done a lot for this library.
Boy,
Yeah, it really,
It
and
was-
she's touched every
Yeah.
area.
Area,
It's great.
thank you.
Any comments by members of the public? Would somebody like to make that motion?
I can make a motion, I can make a motion to transfer $58,897.97 from the Baldwin Public Library's trust endowment funds, an amount that has been calculated according to the formula contained in the Baldwin Public Library's trust investment policy. The $58,897.97 transferred into the money market and checking accounts will be spent in accordance with the various guidelines established when the individual endowment funds were established, and in cases where there was no specific designation, in a manner consistent with the financial policies of the library and in furtherance of the mission of the Baldwin Public Library.
So simple. I'm going to do a voice vote for this. All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, no. Passes. The next trust meeting will be held immediately following the next regular meeting of the Baldwin Public Library Board of Directors on Monday, June 24th, 2024.
Can I make the motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Robert, could you do a roll call vote?
Rock,
Yes.
Rumpel,
Yes.
Mark,
yes.
Friedman,
Yes.
Paisano.
Yes.
Wheeler,
Yes.
all yeas to adjourn.